What's good, y'all? It's about that time. Let's get it. Yeah. Hey, what is going on, y'all? It's your boy Zeus. We are back. One more time. Another episode of Mental Capital. How y'all doing today, man? Look, so very excited for today's episode. Feeling inspired as hell up in here. Got an amazing story for y'all. But before we get into that, you know how we do it here at MC. We got to let you know. All right, wherever you are right now, okay? Whatever you're going through, whatever you're doing, whatever situation or circumstance you might find yourself in, regardless of all of it, you are enough and you matter. Okay? Whether or not you can hear the sound of my voice, you are blessed, chosen, and highly favored, and you deserve happiness and success above all else. Okay? Let's start there. Now, some of y'all are really going through it out there right now. I know I was really going through it last week. Not quite this bad, but just in case you don't feel like you got anybody you can reach out to, okay? Don't have any resources. Don't feel armed to prepare yourself to deal with whatever you're going through. We got some resources here for you. I got the number for the National Suicide and Crisis Prevention Line. Very simple. Our good friends over there at 988. One more time. That number, 988. Our good friends over there have got somebody ready to answer your call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, daily, nightly, ever so rightly. Somebody's there for you if you need it, okay? One more time, 988. Can't forget to drop the resource for y'all. Now, look, man, I got to tell you, I'm itching myself right now. I'm so inspired by this. This is unbelievable. This shit just happened to me, okay? So real quick backstory. So my girl and I right now, we only got one car between us. Hers is in the shop getting fixed. So, you know, some of y'all know how that goes. We got to switch off on vehicles. Sometimes last minute shit. Somebody's got to take the car and somebody's got to take an Uber. That's how it happened on this particular occasion. All right. So my girl calls me up, babe, I need the car. Last minute. She's coming back from a dog walk. She's like, I got to take the car. I need it. I got to go. Can you Uber? I'll order one for you. Perfect. Awesome. I said, no problem, babe. I got you. So my Uber gets here, right? And you never know how it's going to be when you get an Uber driver, do you? You never quite know just what you're going to get. But man, today did I get the luck of the draw. And you know, it's funny because I don't believe in coincidence. I really don't. I don't believe that there's such thing as coincidence in this life. I think everything that happens to you happens for you and for a specific reason. If it's not to better you immediately in the moment, it is to teach you something and show you something you were missing and arm you better to be prepared every single day for your life. So on this particular occasion, you know, when stuff like this comes up, I'm like, okay, well, let's see how it goes, right? You roll the dice. Sometimes you win the lottery and sometimes you sit in silence and don't talk. A lot of people prefer to don't talk. That's okay. That's not me, obviously. So on this particular day, I had the pleasure and the privilege of riding with my man, James. Now, I promised him I wouldn't share too much. I wouldn't share any last names or anything just for anonymity. But I told him as I got out the car, I was like, hey, man, look, I do podcasting. And you just inspired me. You totally just inspired me. Is it okay if I get on there and tell a story about what just happened between the two of us? He was so dope. He was like, yes, man, absolutely, of course. Now, my man James is an islander, right? He said he's from Jamaica. That's where he was from originally. He said he's been here in America for 23 years, right? And he just dropped gem after gem after gem on me. I mean, gem after gem, right? Like this guy, because I told him, we got to start with this one. I told him about my girl, how she needed to take my car. And he said, you know, one of the first things he said was, you know, Confucius say that the man who ignore his wife during the day won't have his peace at night. And he looked in the rearview mirror and looked at me and said, and peace can be spelled either way. And then we both burst out laughing for probably a good 5 minutes. That was a banger. So you know how the ride started, right? So I'm in good spirits. We're laughing, having a good time. And he was just real with me, y'all. He was so real with me. This man has been married twice. He was married once, and then she passed away almost 10 years ago. Rest in peace to her beautiful soul. Gifted him with some beautiful boys. He's now remarried for the last 4 years, which his anniversary was coming up, and I said, look, man, congratulations on finding love and happiness again. I can't imagine the journey that you went through. I can't imagine the journey he went through. I don't want to. Losing my girl would be too much, right? The thought of, I know y'all, some of y'all are like me. It's like the thought of you lose somebody you love and care about. So you don't want to think about that. So I had so much empathy. I was like, I'm sorry. And he goes, it's okay. I remarried. I'm like, wow. 6 years later, he refines love. And I asked him, I was like, look, how do you do it, right? Because he told me he had some success. He'd had a successful career in business. He'd made good money. He'd had kids. But this is what he enjoyed doing. And I asked him, I said, why, man? Why this over working a job that pays you more, working a job that puts more money in your pocket and more money on the table, allows you to do more things? And he looked at me and he said, when you come into this life, you start with nothing. And when you leave this life, you're going to leave with nothing. So happiness over wealth should be your mindset every single day. He said, listen, if you're chasing the money's never going to make you happy. You're just going to be chasing what you think is happiness, and you'll never achieve it. So happiness over wealth all day long. And even though we're struggling right now, we're about to have a child. I'm the only one working. It's one of those things where it's, you tighten the bootstraps up, right? That's that cliche old ass saying. And it just put that into perspective to me, because he said, I wake up every day with the things that really make me happy. My beautiful wife, my beautiful sons, my health. I get to meet great people here. There's not too much stress. My bills are paid. I'm like, this dude driving Uber just schooled me so hard, schooled the shit out of me. God, it was good. And another thing he said to me was, health is wealth. He said, remember, the one thing I focus on now when I don't have as much money that I focused on the same when I did is my health. Because if you're happy in the morning, if you're healthy, if your body is loose and flexible and you can get up and walk to where you need to go and pick things up off the aisles in the store, that's happiness. Because some people can't. And they never will again. And we're like 7 minutes into this drive. And I'm like, yo, who are you, man? Like, who is this guy? Having the time of my life. He said, and another thing my first wife taught me. He goes, people will tell you how they like to communicate. All you have to do is listen. And I don't mean listen for your turn to speak. I mean really listen to what they're saying. Because people will use words in their sentences. When they're speaking, they will use specific identifiers as to how they communicate. Think about it. You've got friends that say stuff, and they speak with their eyes, right? They go, you see what I mean? I'd never thought of any of this, right? If they're auditory, if listening is where it's at for them, they'll say things like, do you hear me? You hear that? I hear that shit all the time. I really do. And the final one is touch by skin. And they'll say things like, you feel me? You got friends who love to come up and they touch you always right away when they greet you. I'm big on that. I love to hug. Even if you don't, especially if you don't like hugs. Oh! I know. Some people are like, dude, jerk. I'm like, yeah, I know, but listen, human touch is an event. Physical touch is an event, and when it comes from a place of love, it's not like it's doing any damage. I got an uncle that I have that is not a hugger. He's not. Shout out Uncle Jeff. Man, I hope you're listening to this. I miss you, man. I love you so much. And he's not a hugger. But when I see him, every time without fail, I will spread my arms as wide as I can go. I say, you ready for your one hug a year? Come on, baby, bring it in. and I get that hug. Because that's one of the ways that I speak is touch. Touch is an event. If someone touches you, God, I hope it's intentional. Because it is powerful. So powerful. And those are ways that you can listen. You can understand people better just by their language. Right? The nouns, verbs, adjectives that they use, whichever parts of speech it is, they will give you a blueprint on how to help hear them best. Because like he agreed with me, everybody in this life has a fundamental need to be heard. I've said it before. I'll say it again because I'm not wrong. When you feel seen, you feel heard, you feel acknowledged and noticed. You feel like you're here, like you're participating, right? And that is so vital because nobody likes to be ignored. Nobody. None whatsoever. None. And my man James just dropping gems on me. And I want to share this with you, okay? Because it was a short ride, y'all. It was a 16-minute Uber. A 16-minute ride, okay? From my crib to my job. And I will tell you that in 16 minutes, this man had such a profound impact on me and my life and who I am, how I feel, what I believe, that I had to come back here and share this shit with y'all. That's right. Even those people up in that airplane that you can hear right now up in the sky, I had to come share it with y'all because you know what that says to me and what it should say to you is if James can make a difference in my life in 16 minutes, you can make a difference in your own life or anybody else's life in no time at all. See, we're taught all the time that change is slow. That change has to take time, right? It has to build and grow and turn into a movement and swell, and then people got to believe in it. Nah, man. Nah. Stop falling for the hype. There are certain types of change like that. Some change is impactful and immediate. It hits you like a bus. Bam! And I've been blindsided by a bus before with one of my ex-girlfriends. So, like, I tell you what it feels like to get hit by a bus in the middle of winter. I know. You can have that kind of impact. I can have that kind of impact. We together can have that kind of impact on anyone and any place at any time that we choose. You are enough and you matter. And nobody gets to take that away from you. That is your impact. You are worth that, okay? You are so fucking special and unique. I know people hate that. Oh, you're not special. You're not unique. Yes, you are. Because you will never meet somebody else who is just like you in 110% every way. No chance. Right down to the last detail. You won't. Even a clone, which I'm sure they're doing. You won't. I don't know shit about that, but you won't. There's no way possible out there they can do it. No chance. You are a one of one thumbprint on this earth. Your signature, who you are, your energetic signature, your name, who you are, who you know, where you've been, what you've been through, can make a difference in this life. It doesn't always have to be with money. It doesn't always have to be with physical acts. Sometimes it can be as simple as a conversation. Dropping a gem of knowledge. If you ever have the chance, if you ever get the opportunity to share some knowledge that could make somebody better, you are almost obligated to do that. Because that is why we are put here on this earth. For each other. We're all going through our own unique experiences, but we all come in with nothing and we all leave with nothing, just like James said. And it's what you do in the middle with the time that you're given. It's how you make your legacy and how you make your impact. And I know somebody out there right now is thinking, I can't do it, Zeus. That's not me. I'm not whatever, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Brother, sister, I am here to tell you that is not true. I am here to tell you that you can make an impact right now, today. Doesn't have to be on somebody else's life. It could be in your own life in 15 minutes or less. All right? Remember that. Also, remember this: no matter where you are right now, no matter what you're going through, okay, no matter what life has handed you or the situation or circumstance you may find yourself in right now, listen to the sound of my voice and believe me completely and wholly when I tell you that you are enough and you matter. And nobody and nothing can take that away from you. All right? How are you going to use your 15 minutes today to make an impact? I want to hear about it. Hit me up and let me know. I can't wait. I'm so excited. Y'all get out there and be special and go make a difference like you were born to do. We'll catch you next time on another Mental Capital. We out.